Okay guys, hello, my name is Malvinshah. Athala. Now I gonna present, I gonna explain about the malware, material malware. Okay, so we start with the history of the malware, which is the 1980, which is vandalism, started in 8-bit architecture and put sector via physical media, and in late 1990. Data thief, which is Web 2.0 emerged. Hacker prefer to SQL injection, FTP bridge, and database instruction. And in 2000, 2000, there is a mass disruption, which is infection of industrial control system or Stuxnet, and emerged of botnets for global DDoS and spam. And 2010, to present with monetization, the rise of the digital economy for corporate travel, ransomware, and crypto mining. Okay, next, categorizing the chaos. The first one is deliver vector crossing the perimeter, which is like a dropper that drive by downloads, USB, phishing and macros. The best is the deceiver, hiding in plain sight and stealing data, which is Trojan spyware and rootkits. And the best three is the replicator, which is a scaling the attack across network, which is the example of it is worm and botnet. And the phase 4 or the last is a payload, which is executing the primary damage or extortion. Which for the example is logic bomb, ransomware, and miners. Okay, next is initial access, which is exploit vulnerabilities in browser JavaScript engine via RCA. Bypass download status bar, no user consent required. Is drive by download. And next is discuss as specify like music player installer. Once executed, suddenly drops a heavier payload like ransomware. That is a dropper. And the last one is physical archive bypass. Exploit curiosity, delivering the proprietary espionage malware directly to internal machine, which is the hardware or USB. And that is all of this is target the OS. And next is social engineering and automation. Which is target phishing after case. Victim receive the SMS word from ABCD Bank management bot demanding the mandatory update payload, and the payload still sensitive image triggering the 12-hour 100,000 US blackmail demand. You can see the step-by-step is harvested spyware data to craft the trap, and after that, the last step is extortion. Next is malicious macros, which is, the case is an IT student trick into running a test macro main for big data or secret management. Payload secretly harvest the bank, game, and social media credential. Okay, for the step is legitimate tools like MS Office automation. After that, weaponized test file and credential peer. Okay, next is deceiver. Mass versus reality, which is number one is Trojan horse, which is the mass pirate copy of Horizon Zero Dawn. Which is the example is the copy Horizon Zero Dawn. If you have the tracking the pirating the game like Horizon Zero. The reality is malicious code hijack system control. Radio mouse movement, this desktop plates, device lockdown. Several of it have to turn off the hypervisor. Hyper-V in the Windows. And next is spyware. Yeah, the mask is simply safe cooling Photoshop plugin. And in the reality, aggressively try to browse history and funnel data to third-party ad news network. Yeah, and third-party ad network hijacking the browser. Yeah, you can see the illustration. Okay, next is consumer strata, which is the application layer, standard user interface, and benign daily application. The next is the logic bomb, yeah, algorithm inserted by an insider lies dormant until predetermined event. The example is untraceable server shutdown in finance sector, leaving only vain SSH and VPN logs. Next is rootkit, or yeah, for example, stealth 2. Uh, Deep kernel or driver modification disabled traditional antivirus, yeah, console keylogin action, and support system security from the foundation up. That's right. Okay, next is the replicator, yeah, like worms. Yeah, worms is self-duplicating malware spreading autonomously via the SMB or server message protocol. The example, a simple message email payload instantly replicate across the networks, is shutting down the entire corporate cell server. Next is botnet is global enslavement. Hi Hijacking 1,000 of localized home network devices into unified slave army deployed by syndicates to launch a massive distributed denial of service, thus attack and global spam complaints. Next is the business of extortion or monetization kill chain, which is I was step, yeah, firstly is ransomware or direct extortion, yeah. The step is exploit, encrypt, and extort. Firstly is drive by via VSD4.com one-day browser vulnerability. After that, and apply symmetric or asymmetric cryptography via recursive volume technique. After that, block internet access, demand ransom, network system log often leave attacker traceable. After that, next is crypto miner or resource hijacking. Yeah, in fact, firstly, step is in fact which is deploy the botnet to invisibly hijack thousands of slave devices. Next is hijack covertly siphon massive CPU or GPU processing power, and next is profit. Utilize the collective power to track and verify cryptocurrency transactions on distributed ledgers. Next is footprint or fileless attack. Yeah, the traditional attack for static is attack trap a physical file or .exe, write to hard drive, antivirus, EDR scan the physical file, threat detected and log. Next is fileless attack, low observable characteristic, which is yeah, there is the native OS tools like PowerShell, PyAdmin, MHHTA, PSEX, yeah, EXEC, yeah. Inject malicious script directly hit the memory processor and physical file right into this, input to forensic tools, yeah, for forensic logs and traditional security, yeah. Next is malware identification matrix. There is a malware. Which one is the Trojan? Yeah, primary goal is remote control and theft. And delivery factor is discuss file and concealment level is medium and is not self-replicating. The worm, yeah, is network disruption. In SMB protocol, because concealment level is low and self-replicating, yes, they are very high. And next is target clone, target sabotage, delivery factor is either or algorithm with concealment level high and not self-replicating. Next is uh, root, rootkit, yes, stealth 2, key logging invasion, yeah, delivery factor is current driver mode, consumption level critical, and no self-replicating. And next is ransomware extortion, drive-bys or troopers. Yeah, is slow but loud, and self-replicating is sometimes. And fallacy is convert execution, and the full factor is PowerShell or memory, yeah, which is consumption level is critical and no self-replicating. Okay, there is paradigm safe malware families, which is malware families have several three, yeah. First is infiltration models is dropper and phishing. Invasion model is rootkits and failures. Propagation models is SMB form and botnet. And next is extortion models is asymmetric encryption. The core insight is malicious code generation is not longer domain of lone wolf writing a single binaries. It has surged into a highly structured, profit-driven enterprise where intelligent models are collected and deployed under unified families. And mapping battlefield, we can use a meter attack, which is behavior tracking. Yeah, with security team use a meter attack framework to determine the exact pattern and direction of malicious code, mapping the technique from the initial access to final impact. Next is actionable intelligence, which is administrator utilize this risk public resource to study real-world script statement hosted on GitHub, analyzing the adversary aircraft. Next is custom defense. Instead of relying on static antivirus, defender use this real-world scenario to engineer custom defense code tailored to specific network vulnerability. Okay, there is the evolving threat landscape, which is one is complexity, but which one is complexity that evolves from isolated physical vandalism into modular, highly profitable corporate syndicate. Next is vulnerability, human element, using routes, USB, weaponized macros remain the most critical perimeter. Next is Stephen. Yeah, low observable threat like virus, rootkit, demon behavior. Now, yeah, behavioral different framework with way of traditional foil scanning. In this yet the safe sandbox analysis experience with real malware sample safely add with any RAR. Okay, yeah, from me. Thank you.